Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and this is the interview that part two. So I interviewed Bleeker St before, and we basically talked about cool things that that he does. In terms of comics, how he got into collecting comics and all that kind of stuff. Now we're going to continue the interview, and it's going to be about a little bit more about what he does as well with comics. Maybe some talking about his selling of comics. I realized that this stream is live, by the way.
Yeah, I just sort of figured that out myself.
I think when I scheduled it originally, it was set to be like live, and I just didn't realize I was supposed to set it to private. But since it's live, we'll go with it. We are adapting. I had the same mistake happen with another person. I killed it, but I'm going to go with it. We're just going to go with it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, this will be fun. So usually it's Saturday that this is happening. So my introduction started out with me saying Saturday, but it's not Saturday. It's Monday. You're not going into the Twilight Zone. This is not like we're going back in time or anything. This is actually Monday. So Bleeker, every Sunday you go to the flea market. Where is this flea market? And tell me a little bit.
I live in St. Catharines, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
That's in Canada. For our American friends out there, pretty close to Niagara Falls. It's a big flea market. It's a good flea market. It's fun to go to. I've always liked the flea market. So
yeah,
it's a good environment, a neat group of people. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say hi to some of the people here.
Of course.
Hi, Epoch. Hi, Lyle. Hi, Stephen. Hi, Kenneth. That's me saying hi to everybody really quickly. Normally I don't go live with these, but hey, we're doing this live.
It happened.
So you're in St. Catharines. How far is that away from Ottawa, roughly?
A couple hours.
Not very far. I'll have to come down someday, when you're doing the flea market thing, and like 100%. Actually meet you in person.
That'd be amazing.
When you go to these flea markets, is it kind of a situation where it's just random people, or is it like, do you see the same people all the time? Or
there's a lot of the same people, but I live in a college university town pretty much, so we do get a fair bit of new people every week. Mm-hmm. Depending on, like I put out ads all the time. I put out, not in the newspaper, but on Instagram and on things like that, so that helps. And of course the flea market, they advertise as well, so it definitely, it's an eclectic group of people. You get your super duper hardcore collectors, you get your families that just like to go for a Sunday stroll, just a bunch of different people, and it's pretty cool.
And so what, like, I was actually kind of curious about this, because like when we did a live stream on the weekend,
right?
And I noticed a certain demographic with the people that were buying comics from you. They were older.
Yes.
Older people.
Yes.
Is that usually the case, that it's like, the kind of more our generation, or a little bit older, like maybe 40s, 30s, 40s kind of
30 to 40, even up into 60, probably 65.
Yeah.
I do get young kids come in. Most of that's for toys. Some of it's for comic books, but it's really rare to see kids coming in for comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Every now and again, they'll come in. Of course, it's hard with kids now because comics are so blooming expensive. They look at all these amazing comic books and they want them immediately. I'm like, that's not your box, son. You don't want to look over here.
Go to the dollar one over here.
Yeah. So it can be difficult. I wish comics weren't that way, but it is that way right now.
So do you have it like where it's like you have your dollar bin long boxes, or it's like sort of that mix, so that
I definitely have that, because I have parents come in once in a while that'll ask, my kid's just starting to read, blah blah blah, or my kid's not interested in reading, and I'm like, well, go over here, get your Marvel Tales and all your, all those
dollar bin stuff.
Go get that stuff. So if you want Spider-Man, that's the best way to get them into Spider-Man. If you they really want to start collecting, they'll they'll make their way eventually.
Yeah. So one sec. Somebody's asking, what's the cartoon that's playing in the background?
Oh, that's 9 Lives of Fritz the Cat.
That's a interesting choice. Hopefully
Robert Crumb's my favorite, man.
Hopefully nothing too adult in the background. Okay.
No, not too bad. It's not too bad.
So yeah, that's sort of funny. We were talking about that as well on the weekend. I'm actually kind of curious, like, where do you get most of your inventory that you sell? Like, where?
When I started, I was going on Kijiji. I was doing the Facebook marketplace and things like that. Estate sales, pretty much anywhere where I could buy large groups of comics at a time. Now that I'm more established and I have an actual spot that everybody knows on Sundays, I get a lot of people coming to me with books, so I don't have to go out and look as much for books.
Oh, that's good.
I still do look for books. It's important because not everybody's going to come to you with gold. A lot of it's dollar bin stuff. A lot of it, you might get one small key out of a short box or something like that. So
So do they come in like with like really high expectations? Like, oh, I got this $1 million collection of comics and it's like Turok #1.
They do. They have definite high expectations, especially with the way they see comic books selling. They don't know the ins and outs of comic books, so they don't know that a newsstand is worth more, or it's got to be slabbed to get that price, or things of that nature. They just don't know the inner workings of the comic book industry, so they think they have $1 million bucks pretty much every time, and have to be the bearer of bad news. And
so, do you ever get the big comics coming in, like where somebody says, "Oh, I just have some old books in my ring," and it's like, but it's all like really valuable stuff? Or
everybody knows when they have valuable comic books. And everybody that I've dealt with, I bought one box of comic books for $300, and it had pretty much the entire Star Wars run in there, and it had except for #1, of course. But it had the Boba Fett in there, which is,
that makes it
that makes it worth it right there.
Yeah.
It had all of the Battlestar Galactica in there. I think it had the first appearance of Chuck Norris in comics, things like that. Just weird.
What's the first appearance of Chuck Norris in comics?
It's a Star Comics, and it's just a Chuck Norris comic book, and it's a yellow cover. It's Chuck Norris 1 or something like that. But that is.
I'll have to look for that.
I have it at my shop. I'll show it to you next week, Alan.
Oh, that'll be fun.
It's on the wall for sure. If you watch my live on Sunday, I'll show it to you.
Oh, that's cool. That sounds fun.
I use it on the hunt once in a while because Chuck Norris wins all the time. So
yeah. There's so many great memes with Chuck.
Just pull up Chuck Norris and he seems to win it for me. So
yeah. So is it a valuable comic or
not super valuable? If it's in really good condition, it's probably I don't know. I haven't even looked it up as far as slabbing it goes. I think it's $15-$20 comic book.
Okay, so it's not a massive,
nothing major, no, but it is.
But it's just kind of
Chuck Norris.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah. And he's on the cover. Is it like a?
He is on the cover. Yeah, he's on the cover. It's his comic book, I guess. Well, he didn't write it, but
yeah.
I think it's a 3 or 4 series or something like that. But I think I have 1 and 2 in my personal collection. I've got 1 at the shop to sell. Yeah, it's Chuck Norris, man. You gotta have Chuck Norris.
Yeah, I used to get really into Chuck Norris memes. Like Chuck Norris doesn't do push-ups; he just lifts the world.
Pushes the world down, man. That's it. So, Chuck Norris is awesome.
Yeah. So that's cool. Did you bring some books to show?
I did. I always bring some books just in case. You never know.
Yeah.
But we start with a.
Oh, nice.
9/8 Killing Joke.
And you can always tell the first printing is the green.
The green.
That's how that's nice.
And, I love me some Batman. Joker is probably my favorite character in comic books. So.
Oh, somebody's asking, would you like to see a Star Wars, Star Trek crossover?
Absolutely fucking not.
That would be it just wouldn't work, I don't think.
Well, like, don't get me wrong. Actually, I like both. To be honest,
Yeah, me
I
too.
actually like both.
I love both.
I'm a big fan of Star Trek and a big fan of Star Wars. More Star Wars. It's more enjoyable. It's more fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Star Trek is. I wish the world was more like Star Trek, but Star Wars is just fun to watch and fun to be a part of.
Yeah, yeah. Star Wars is a bit idealized. It's like
Oh,
that. So,
absolutely.
all the world's problems have been solved, and now we're going to find new problems to deal with.
Yeah.
We have to go. We have to go out into outer space and find other problems to solve.
Oh, that's Star Trek. Yeah, that's
the
hubris of mankind. I think is Star Trek. You know what? We are going to be the shining light in the universe.
Actually, that's why I really loved the original series. Kirk is like,
oh, he's just
the man.
pirate, for Pete's sake.
He's awesome.
He's great.
So the Prime Directive, we'll just ignore that.
Nobody needs that Prime Directive anyway. It's garbage.
Yeah. So that was a cool book, actually, that you're showing. We just a bit of a sidetrack.
Yeah.
But that was a cool one. Have you seen the animated movie for that?
Yes, yeah, they did an alright job with it. They did pretty good. It's
I think DC always does really great animated movies, but
they couldn't do it as quite as violent as the comic. It was pretty good. They did.
Yeah, I think they couldn't go that extreme.
Yeah.
The comic's pretty extreme.
The book is pretty extreme, which is it's one of the best Batman stories if you don't have it. I think the green and it could be the 11th print.
I know there's like many printings.
The one with the red is also quite expensive.
Yeah, expensive.
So,
yeah.
I
always thought that was dumb, actually, because they can just come out with another printing later, and it's just like they put out two. Okay, now it's the rarest. It's like okay.
I don't know. I don't really like. I collect first prints, and
me too.
I go around. I look on cover price, and I'm like, well, the fourth print's worth $800. What the hell, man? The first print's $5.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me. And I collect the four. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna get into fourth and fifth and sixth and seventh prints. I collect one of a book. That's it. Unless, of course, I'm gonna sell it, and then I'll collect a couple of them.
Yeah, exactly. So I was what was I gonna say? That's cool that it's in a 9.8. Did you just pick that up recently, or?
I sent it in. I picked up the batch of books. Wow, a couple of years back now. It was in. I got a great batch of books. I paid far too much money for it. I pay probably the most money for comics out of a comic shop that I know of. I tend not to rip people off. I usually give $1 a book and separate the chaff from the wheat, so to speak, and say, listen, this is what I'm paying you for. You can either take that or give it to me. That's sort of how that works.
Yeah.
Like, I'm paying for these books here. These books are garbage. If you want to give them to me, I'll take them. If you want to take them, try and sell them yourself, go ahead. Generally, that's how I have to do it now, because I do have enough back filler to last for quite some time. So now I'm just sort of trying to focus on bigger books.
Yeah, I find that even at $1 a piece, sometimes it's not even worth it.
It's really not. They'll sit there forever. They'll literally sit there forever.
They're dollar bin books. You're basically paying for the cost that you're going to be able to sell it.
If I'm paying you $1,000 for, let's say, a few boxes of books, there has to be some books that I can either CGC and make a few $1,000 off of, a couple of those books to make it worth it for me. Otherwise, I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah, that makes sense. So how about you show some more books?
Yeah, of course.
Keep people interested.
I got this guy given to me from Man Cave. I'm sure he's been on your show. Maybe not.
He's going to be.
Well, Man Cave, he's an awesome dude. So when you see Man Cave, he's got a collection. Much like Alan's, actually.
Actually, his collection's better than mine, I would say.
It's, I don't know. That's pretty close.
Pretty major books.
It's pretty close. I don't know. You guys have a really nice collections. But he gave me that guy, 3.5, first Mbaku.
Not bad.
Yeah.
First Man-Ape.
Yeah, first Mbaku. Yeah. So, I don't know. I thought that was really cool to get as a gift. He gave me a few presents in this AOK. This is one of them. Gave me a couple of slabs. He gave me a cool Starland slab as well. But that one was really cool. He also gave me a Star Wars #1.
Oh,
Which,
really?
yeah. And in the back of it, it's in a top loader. In the back of it, it's got a 9.2 slip from CGC. So I'm guessing it was cracked at some point in time.
Oh, wow.
He gave me a 9.2 Star Wars 1.
That's a pretty major book. Like my copy is like a 9.0.
I can't believe I couldn't, and I'm going to press it, obviously. I press and clean.
Maybe you can get a 9.4 or something.
That's, 9.6 perhaps. We're going to see what happens. I did press and clean this one, and I'm really proud of this one. I'm trying to trade this one. Anybody out there in comic?
Okay, let me see. Let's see what
trade.
If maybe I'll trade for it. Oh, wow.
So this is a 9.8 Canadian price variant.
Nice.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Adventures #1, First Krang, Rocksteady, and Bebop. I'm trying to trade this and maybe some money or another book for a 9.8 Ultimate Fallout 4 because I don't have one and I really want one because Miles Morales is my thing. I really like Miles quite a bit. So
how much that book was really expensive for a while, but it's
it's about the same price as the Turtles book now. In a 9.8. This is top 5, honestly, as far as Turtle fans go. This is top 5 Turtle book.
Yeah, I have it, but it's raw copy.
Yeah, so this is a top 5 by far. Just the Canadian price variant. It's rare, yada yada yada. It hits all those bells and whistles.
So like maybe like 1,000 or like how?
This is probably worth $1,200, maybe $1,300.
Yeah. Okay. I think it was up to like 2.
It was up to 2. Yeah, it was up
that's
to
what
2.
I was going to say. That's why I was saying it's really dropped since then.
It's dropped quite a bit.
But I think it has. They're going to come out with a Turtles movie. There's stuff that's happening that could bring it back up again.
Yeah, 100%.
And those are major characters. So that's another good one.
There's little Miles right there, just hanging out the front cover of Venom #3.
Yeah, and there's also another first appearance in that book too.
Interesting.
You didn't know about the first appearance?
Well, I know that whatchamacallit's in there. The
what's his name? The symbiote guy.
Yeah, the king of the symbiotes there. Fuck.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name off the top.
Why can't I remember his name too?
Why can't I remember his name? That's brutal. Null?
No. Yeah, no.
Yeah, that is Null's first appearance.
Yeah.
And then boom.
Oh, that's really great. You have a lot of 9.8s.
Yeah, I press comic books, buddy.
So, like, what do you think the grade was before you kind of cleaned it up?
This was close to a 9.8. You can't really press a 3 into a 9.8. But,
that'd be awesome if you could.
It would be great if you could, but you can't. It was pretty close already to a 9.8. Some books you just want to get that wave out of. They have slight creases in them that you want to get rid of. Well,
but isn't that a hard book to get in a 9.8 because of the black?
It's people keep telling me it's a really hard book to get in a 9.8. I've had 4 of them already.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so I don't know. I've done really well with that book as far as 9.8s go, but it is hard because of the black cover. It's really because it shows every tick. Like it shows everything. If there's something wrong with it. I have a 9.6 that I'm selling in my auction / claim sale on Saturday, and it's a 9.8. There's no doubt in my mind that it's.
So it's like one that you got to crack it out. And
you have to re-crack it and just send it back. Like it's a bloody 9.8. I don't care what anyone says. It's a 9.8.
Yeah.
So I'm really mad about that one. That would have been my 5th 9.8.
So with that, it's a 9.6. Do they give you grader notes where
no graders notes? CGC doesn't do that. CBCS is a better company for graders.
Hi, Brandon.
They do much better graders notes.
Yeah.
As a company, as myself, I usually get CGC slabs for my personal collection because I already have a whole bunch of CGC slabs. But as a company, Bleeker St Comics may go to CBCS pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cost is
a little cheaper. The slabs are really good. And I don't know, there's CGC is really they've done some bad things in the recent history. So
yeah, there's Yeah, I actually don't forgive them for the acetate scandal.
I didn't want to say it, but the acetate
Yeah,
scandal, the
yeah,
fact that they put tens on those books really is
yeah.
super
You get
upsetting.
that just shows that they're shady. That's like,
Well, I can show you a 9.8 right now, even though I'm going to sell it as a 9.8 that I don't think should be a 9.8. There's no
mhm.
way. There's no way in hell it's a bloody 9.8.
Yeah.
I've got a 9.6 that should be a 9.8 for sure, and this 9.8 that probably is closer to an 8.5.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
and it just makes no sense to me the fact that they could be so bad one day and so good the next.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what you get when you get that. You know, there's probably hundreds of graders or whatever number of graders that they have,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, there can be inconsistencies between them.
There shouldn't be, and there shouldn't be. Not that huge. There
Oh
should
yeah. Well,
not.
I'm not saying that that's a
Yeah,
good thing. I'm just saying that
it's
that's what
fine.
happens.
Little inconsistencies I can forgive, but inconsistencies that are blatantly obvious, it's like, come on, guys. Like, how are we supposed to know? Because I making half my money is based on being able to tell what grade a book is.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
That's half my money is
Yeah. Yeah.
it's right there. If I buy books that I think are going to be 9.6s and 9.8s and they turn out to be nines, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
far as
Yeah. I mean,
monetary value goes.
even half a grade off can
Yeah.
be like
Oh
hundreds of
yeah.
dollars
A
on
nine
books.
eight to a 9.6 and a Wolverine one. That's $400-500. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
there it is. It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's gone. It's a big deal. So you really have to CGC's getting me mad. That's all.
So, how often do you get people bringing in slabs to your shop?
Slabs not very often.
Yeah.
Very rarely do I get people bringing in slabs.
So,
It has happened. Usually they want to trade or things like that. I don't usually get offered to buy slabs. Um,
mhm.
and because I have to go through the spiel as a business, I'm like, hey, my man, if I were you, I would put this up on Marketplace, see if you can sell it. If you can't sell it, I will
Mhm.
definitely buy it off of you, but I will buy it off of you at a fairly reduced cost. Like, you're not
Do
gonna
you do?
I can't give you $200 for it. I'll give you 100 for it, so I can make $50 off it, or
Yeah. Yeah.
because I've got to sell it cheaper as well. I can
Yeah.
I do flea market stuff. I can't sell things at top dollar.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
I've got to give people a break as well. So I'm not in it. Again, I'm not into comics to make $1 million. I'm just in it to be in
Yeah. You like
comics.
doing
I
it.
just
You.
love
Yeah.
comics,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. I know. Your reason.
I just want to be in comics. I want to be around comics. I want to sell comics. I don't want to work for anybody else. I like working for myself.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So like do you have like a thing where, like, let's say the comic's worth $100? Do you say, oh, I'll give you 50, or is it 60, or
Yeah,
what?
I'll try and do half. I try and do half for a person. Uh, if I think a comic's worth a certain amount, and that's what I'll usually do as well. I'll take good comics out of a pile of comics they want to sell me, and I'll say, listen, these are your winners. These are not your winners. Again,
Mhm.
I'll buy these off of you. I'll take those. If you don't want to sell them to me, that's fine. But at least you know now what when you go to the next person, which comics are good and which aren't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you don't totally get ripped off by the next guy.
Yeah. What and what background do they have in grading comics, the new people at CGC? I think generally what they'll say, like, I've seen like the CGC thing before, where
Yeah,
they
all art
advertise for
graders and
new
stuff.
graders. Like they say that you have to have 2 to 3 years of experience or something like that,
Yeah, like
and then
art
usually you go
historical
through a
thing.
process.
Yeah, there's a whole. That's actually a really big deal to be a grader
Yeah.
in a company like that. You have to go through. Like, I don't know. You'd have to be like a somebody that works at the Louvre and shit like that. They can be a grader.
Yeah.
It's intense, man. I want it to be a grader, but
Yeah, I'm not sure how well it pays. Like, is it a high paying gig, or is it?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Oh, and like the questions I always have in my mind, like I always think of it from a business standpoint.
I do as well.
I think, like, okay, how much do they get paid? How many books do they grade a day? All that
I
kind of.
saw a job posting in Florida that was $25 an hour to press books, and I'm like, I could do that. I can't move to Florida because I'm Canadian, but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like, man, I wish that would happen over here. I would definitely just be a pressing book guy. I would do that.
Well, I mean, it could be easy in a way where you just, if you have like 20 presses, you could just do like, you know.
It's so fun. It's so great. It's relaxing. It's beautiful. And you got to really take care of the books. Like you got to, if you have a presser, you have to go to somebody that actually cares about your stuff.
Yeah.
Cares about comic books.
I have like a ton of books that need to be pressed and graded, right?
You definitely have a ton of books that need pressing.
I think I have about 1,000 to 2,000 books that are worthy of grading and worthy of, like, you know.
I just got an $800 order today, Alan. So that made my whole 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks is really nice for me because somebody dropped off 50 books. So I'm pretty happy with that.
50 books for CGC?
Yeah. They want to press them. They want to get them pressed and cleaned.
So you charge roughly like $15 a book? Is that
$15 a book? Yeah.
That's actually a very fair price.
Again, it's all about being fair. I don't charge for, let's say you bring me a really expensive book versus a cheap book, same price. Like I don't do that kind of thing. But
yeah, somebody's asking a good question.
Sure.
Why doesn't CGC recognize the first appearance of every character that is, or is it because of the obscurity of certain characters?
I don't think CGC gives a shit, to be honest.
I think what happens though, a CGC like will recognize it if you can prove that it is that character's first appearance. So if you write in them,
they've not written on. They've done it to a couple people I know that they left out the key component on the slab.
On the slab,
it out.
Yeah.
I actually have a question for you, Alan.
Yeah.
I just heard something today, and I don't know if it's true.
Okay.
I was talking to my guy about pressing his books, and he's got I have it too. What's the Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man that has the tattoos in it?
Oh, the one. What's his name?
It's the first Hobgoblin.
First Hobgoblin, isn't it?
Yeah.
281.
Something like that. It could be
something in that. Yeah,
something of that nature.
Yeah.
Well, in Overstreet, they wrote at one point in time that Canadian price variants of that book did not come with tattoos. Is that a fact?
I doubt it. I really doubt it.
Because it was in Overstreet. He did send me the Overstreet thing, and I'm so messed up about it now. Because
I don't know, because I never had a raw copy of that book, like the Canadian version. I've seen it.
I have the Canadian version, and on the label when I bought it, it said missing tattoos.
Okay.
But I don't know if the guy knows that the Canadian ones maybe didn't have tattoos. So I don't know if I don't know if it's true. And I know CGC, if I sent it to CGC, they would say missing tattoos. So I really want to look into that. I mean,
that'd be actually one of those ones where if you write, like, you know, you'd have to find out, right? You'd have to like do some research or something.
Yeah.
And then you'd write in and say, hey, look, CGC, hey, look, there's no tattoos in the Canadian variant.
And when it says in the article, it says any Canadian price variants that have tattoos, the tattoos have been added.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It
could be interesting. I'm not sure about that. I have the book.
Me too. I have the Canadian book, and it doesn't have tattoos, but it says missing tattoos.
But I have the U.S. version with the tattoos. I was deliberately looking for the one with the tattoos, right?
Yeah.
But
I was looking desperately for a 252, a Fantastic Four 252, so I could marry
the tattoos.
Yeah, marry the tattoos.
I heard about that. Yeah. One sec here. Somebody else is asking a question. I will sell my comic at a local comic shop and give the owner 22% for advertising it for me.
Yeah,
okay. I've seen that. That's like consignment kind of stuff.
Consignment wall for people.
Oh, okay. So 238 is the.
Yes.
I was just guessing my numbers. I was like, you know, I know it was in the 200s. That's all I was trying to. I forgot what first Hobgoblin.
First hobby, yeah.
Yeah, and High Dope.
Man, how you doing, brother?
Oh, 238. Yeah, see, everyone's saying that. Everyone's like, you know.
Everyone knows we're.
Everyone knows we're stupid. Yes, we're stupid. Yes. I have a lot of numbers in my head, and sometimes I can pull them out. Sometimes I can't.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the deal.
Speaking of selling, I've got all that stuff over
Oh
there.
wow, you have like almost a claim sale going on here.
Yeah, it's going to be up for Saturday. We're going to be on IG doing that stuff.
So just quickly to answer Kevin, yes, right now if the Canadian variant doesn't have the tattoos, if it doesn't, we're not 100% sure, but we're saying that might be the case. It would get a green label because CGC would say, "Oh, where are the tattoos?"
CGC doesn't recognize it. Doesn't recognize that.
Yeah, missing the tattoos.
Yeah.
So that's actually really interesting. I've seen kind of weird things like that where.
Well, if you look at the Canadian price variant for number 1 of the Secret Wars, almost all of them are Blue Galactus. The American ones, they don't get the Blue Galactus. But if you buy a Canadian price variant, almost every one of them is a Blue Galactus variant.
Okay.
So I don't know if it happened with American books, but it definitely Canadian. They made a mistake. A lot of them are Blue Galactus variants.
I think I have that one then. I have to open up my copy. I bought my copy off the.
If it's Canadian, it's probably a Blue Galactus.
Yeah, I'll have to. I never looked, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
The last time I opened that book was back in early 90s.
That's the first thing I look for now because I see it comes out. I got to see if it's blue.
Now I gotta check that. Should I go check it on live thing?
You can definitely check it online. I don't know. I put it on.
No, on live. I have it
definitely
right over there.
I have a little black suit Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. That's a great book. I always loved that cover. I always thought it was like the coolest cover.
They've got a Miles Morales cover that's like that. It's like a homage cover.
Okay,
so good.
So people are saying, ask the comic doctor. I know I don't know him personally, but he's another presser, by the way. I'm not sure if you know him.
I've heard. Yeah, I've watched some of.
I think he's in Ontario as well.
Yeah. He gets into some heavy duty stuff. Something that
he's in big books,
cleaning and stuff like that.
Yeah, he does big books
at all.
Yeah.
Him and I would have disagreements there, of course.
Yeah, I'm always paranoid about that and getting maybe a restored label out of it or something.
You're going to get a restored label, but
well, if you do it well, you might not.
He might be able to do it, but it's I don't know. I don't know. That's a hard one. He's good at it though. He knows his shit. He definitely.
Well, I haven't I've watched a few of his shows and I haven't seen him get purple labels.
No, exactly. So he does know. He does
know something. He knows something.
It's that peroxide and water solution.
There's the other thing that I thought was interesting where they use is it blue light or some kind of light on the comic, and then they can kind of whiten the pages.
Yeah, you can do that. It's ultraviolet light.
Yeah.
The problem with that is ultraviolet light also takes out
fades the color.
So if it's a pure white book with no color on it, that's brilliant. Absolutely do it. But if you're trying to do that for the white pieces on your very colorful book, do not do that.
Yeah. No, but there's so many tricks that people are trying right now. Yeah. It just reminds me of back in the day, people would be like, "Oh, I found this way of getting rid of all the spine ticks. You just take a black marker and I had friends that would go on about how great they were with black markers.
Look at this. I know how to keep my covers on. You just stick a little piece of tape on the inside of the cover here.
Exactly.
Boom.
Exactly. Yeah.
Covers will never come off now.
Yeah, exactly. See, we are providing real restoration tips to everybody here.
Terrible restoration.
Speaking of restorers, hey Jerry. So you should watch what we were just saying there, Jerry. We were talking about restoration tips. Jerry is an awesome non-restorer, conserver of books.
I do not restore books.
Yeah, no,
I can. I know the Indian inks and stuff like that, what you should use. But you shouldn't. I don't know. It's really hard that's a hard argument. I don't mind a restored book. If it's an old book and I want it to look really nice, I don't mind a restored book. I just don't want to restore our book. I don't want to. That's a lot of pressure, man. That's a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Personally, I like restored books because like it allows me to afford some big books. Like I
That's,
would never have gotten the Wonder Woman one. Like
I don't understand why
wasn't-
they're so they people fucking hate them so much. They're worthless almost. Like it's like
yeah,
this one's $5 billion. Well, this one's $800. What?
yeah. I mean that book, if it wasn't restored, and the restoration is, it is trimmed. It's not going to get unrestored. It's
Whatever.
done.
It's got a tiny trim. Who
Yeah,
gives-
it's like, it's probably like it had that little bit of fraying or something.
Yeah.
That, oh, let's just trim that off. So it's actually less of a book than it was. Maybe that's about it. But I wouldn't have been able to afford that. That's $100,000 book, or maybe $150,000 book.
Yeah.
Because somebody removed like a millimeter off of it, I get it for like, 20,000.
Which I don't think people realize that DC first characters are worth so much money. Everybody's all like, "Oh, Silver Age Marvel, blah blah blah." I'm like, DC didn't have to go for a boom. They were always expensive, man. And now they're gonna be super expensive because DC's now going through their boom. So
yeah, I actually like to see that a little bit more of a rivalry with the two companies in terms of movies. Like if they can both be at that high level, I'd love to see that where they're both producing.
I like DC movies. I don't like them all, but when they do them well, like I like the Batman series with Christian Bale and all that. That was pretty good, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
The Joker movie was really excellent.
Yeah.
Their cartoons are great. I don't really like their TV series too much, but
really, one of my favorite cartoon series of all time was the Bruce Timm one.
Oh yeah,
Batman Adventures.
No, that's great. I mean, their live.
I mean, that's a classic.
Their live TV stuff, like the Teen Titans and whatever.
I like Teen Titans Go.
I hate it. Not my bag, baby.
I love Teen Titans Go. I love the humor. It's just like,
between the two, it doesn't really matter. It's a personal preference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're answering the question.
Yes.
Yeah. So CGC versus CBCS.
It used to be CGC if you're selling your books because CGC commanded a higher price tag. But
I still say CGC.
Now I'd say it's the same price almost.
When I watch auctions all the time. I'm like, I see CGC consistently 20 to 30% more.
Really? 20
to 30. It's insane how much of a difference it makes. Wow. And a PGX,
yeah, don't get
they really maybe even 40% on it.
I buy PGX slabs so I can crack them. Yeah, I buy them so I can crack them.
I actually submitted books to PGX. I thought they were a good company.
You're a terrible.
I found that they're.
And I'm quitting this interview right now. I'm sorry.
No, but I thought their grading was actually harsh. Like it was fairly.
Yeah, they got busted like taking money for grades though. Like you can't go to.
Well, CGC is not doing anything different in my opinion.
CGC is just not getting busted, and I agree with you. Fucking 100%. Those acetate covers, man, they made me so.
That. But there's not only that. Like the even before that, they graded empty cases. They had the Bad Idea empty book where it was like just a slab, and it was like the invisible variant or something stupid.
Right. Okay.
It was just like a slab. It was a 9/8, but it was empty slab.
Well, they did the bunch of grading on the new Death of Superman books that came out. They were beautiful, by the way. I don't know if you saw them. The gold, awesome foil covers. The Death of Superman. They just reprinted it all. And
is that the one with the blue, blue Superman?
Yeah. I don't know. They were beautiful books. Regardless, it was the ones that came out in the 90s, but they had nicer covers this time.
Yeah.
And, they were going for $800, $900. I'm like, for reprints, man, for reprints. And CGC was involved with that as well.
Do you guys watch the humidity level in your comic room?
Yes.
I actually don't, for the most part. I know what is a good humidity. I try to maintain it within the house, if that makes sense. And that way I know that it's roughly the same here.
Yeah, I have good humidity in the summertime. I've got my air conditioner going on inside the comic room.
Yeah, and dehumidifier.
Take out that water in the air.
Yeah. And hey, Spicky.
Mr. Big Shot, how you doing, brother?
Yeah. But it's
let's do some dark side, baby.
Yeah. Oh wow. That's another great book. It really died. It's like one of those books that's. I think it's a great book. Get the first Apocalypse.
I don't know why it died so much, but maybe it's because they did such a terrible job with the movie.
But also, I think it's a fairly common book.
Yeah, it is. One at the shop. I've got one in my personal collection. I run across it a fair bit.
Yeah, I'd like to get that in a 9.8. Like, I have a raw copy of it. I just don't have a slabbed copy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a nice one.
So that's I have the newsstand version of that.
Well, that's because
I bought it by accident. I thought I was it was like it's 8.5, but it's like a newsstand, so it's actually worth more than a higher grade.
Controversy there. I showed the other black suit. Might as well show this.
Oh yeah. So I still consider that to be the first.
A lot of people do.
So do you consider the other one to be the first, or?
Yes, I think they didn't. It was supposed to come out first. It's just the continuity error, isn't it? I'm pretty sure it's just the continuity.
So which one did come out first? The other one? Like to the newsstand or whatever,
I think this one came out first by accident, but I'm not sure.
Okay, see, I'm going to go with that then.
Yeah, I think this one came out by accident first. Much like the the 14 versus the 266.
Yeah.
I think it came out by accident. Even if you read it.
You're talking about Gambit now, right?
Yes, yeah, same thing.
I was thinking about that too. So I hate that Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't part of the MCU in 2012 Avengers movies, and I hate that Hal Jordan wasn't a part of the DC EU 2017 Justice League. Yeah. So Green Lantern should be part of the Justice League, right? He should be.
He's one of the members. He's pretty important member of the Justice League.
I was actually surprised that he wasn't in it, to tell you the truth. Like I think what happened was DC wasn't as patient as by the way, Hudat's here. Hi, Hudat. I don't think DC was as patient as Marvel was.
They're not.
Marvel really said, okay, we're going to build up each character. We're going to let them do their 3 movies or whatever it is that builds up that character. And then we're going to bring them together as a team. Yeah. Whereas DC was like, oh, we got to catch up. And it's like
DC's got to realize that they're DC and they don't have to catch up. They just have to put out movies. They literally can just put out a Wonder Woman movie. It doesn't have to be part of a big world. It can be a Wonder Woman.
I know. I would prefer that.
Yeah, then I don't have to worry about all this other bullshit, end scenes, credits, all this fucking shit. It's just a movie I want to see.
Yeah, I'd actually like it. Right now, I feel like they always have to have it where the movie has to be save the world, save the universe, save mankind.
Yeah, it's sort of.
It doesn't have to be that big. It doesn't have to be
with
that
DC,
big.
It sort of does because they have fucking Superman, and you have to write a story like that to involve Superman. Otherwise, Superman doesn't make any sense.
But it doesn't have to be. To me, that doesn't always have to be that big. Like,
fair, but you have to have an epic bad guy to either get Superman out of the way or to keep Superman busy, while the rest of the team goes, "Oh no, we can't do it," and then Superman comes in at the last second and says, "Yes, we can," and they all win.
Well, one of the things that I always liked, and this is something that I always thought was a really good kind of story element, is you get somebody like Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor has no powers. Yeah. He's not he does sometimes. Yeah, but that's a different story. Yeah. But the point is, he's just a smart, evil guy.
Right.
And he always sets up that dilemma for Superman because Superman doesn't want other people to get hurt. He ultimately is like a Boy Scout. He doesn't want anyone to get hurt. And it's very easy to capitalize on that if you're a bad guy. Because you set up, like in the original Superman movie, he sends out 2 missiles, one to destroy half the United States one way, and then another missile to destroy half the other way.
Everybody has 8 billion weapons against Superman, and it's people. There's 8 billion.
My point is,
there it is.
The point is that by having that thing where he has to make that big choice between saving the girl he loves or saving a bus full of kids, that always puts interesting element to the story.
But
Where
you remember that he didn't actually have to make the choice. He
I
just
know he just sets the world.
flew around the world
Yeah,
and
it makes it
reverse
go
time.
backwards. I want to try that as a physics major. I don't think that works that way.
I feel like that's not going to work for.
I think a lot of people would get very sick, but that's about it.
Yes.
But yeah. Okay, wait. Bleeker, is that a Bronson on your right arm?
On my right arm. That's Han Solo and
Oh,
Darth
wait.
Vader. And got a stormtrooper, and I got. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I can't quite see it.
Go Boba Fett back there somewhere.
So you're saying you don't like Star Wars, is what you're
And Superman over there, because I do love Superman.
The fact that you get tattooed with Star Wars is just that shows commitment.
Joker and Harley Quinn.
Wow.
And a little Batman action, some Frank Miller Batman down there.
Oh yeah. It's hard to see on camera.
It is, yeah.
But I actually could see it that time. That was the first time I didn't know what they were. I just thought you were like, being like the tough guy kind of,
being
what I mean? Yeah.
No, like, I'm not so tough with Superman tattoo.
It's not so tough after all. Yeah.
No, not so tough, man.
Oh well, you should have had Superman saying "Mom" or something.
Yeah,
then it would be tough.
I love you, Mom.
Yeah. Okay, wait. I know that you normally record these videos. Yes, this is normally recorded, but we're doing a surprise for both of us, live interview.
Surprise, indeed.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. Are you both looking forward to the Flash movie? Okay, what's your opinion?
Oh man, you really want an opinion on your channel from me?
Yeah, well,
dude,
without too much profanity.
Okay, profanity.
No. But seriously, what do you think?
I think that Fat Man looks really fat, and I think that Ezra Miller needs to go to jail. And, I don't think that anybody should go see that crappy ass movie that's just based on nostalgia. The only reason you're going to go see it is because Michael Keaton is Batman again. And I want to remind everybody how pissed off everyone was when Michael Keaton was actually Batman. Nobody wanted Michael Keaton to be Batman.
Yeah, but he turned out to be a great Batman.
Now in hindsight, yeah, but even then people were like, that guy sucks. He shouldn't have been Batman.
That's true. I do remember that.
Yeah, the worst. Yeah, and there wasn't even the internet back then, and we all heard it. That's how bad it was. So
yeah.
I don't know.
I'm actually looking forward to the Flash movie. I'm like the eternal optimist. So I
support Ezra Miller. I can't support that.
I don't like Ezra Miller. Okay, I give you that, but I always try to remove, like, it's just like Amber Heard. I forgive Amber Heard as a character, as an actor, but not as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I can distinguish the two.
But not as a bed pooper. I do not forgive her bed pooping.
Yeah, that bed pooping part was a little crazy.
That's unforgivable.
A little crazy. That's a little hard to get over, but but I'm actually looking forward to the Flash movie because I know the source material. The Flashpoint storyline
Flashpoint's great.
Is amazing.
It's one of the best stories.
I just want to see that. I've seen the animation for it was great. The animated story was great. So I'm kind of hoping that it will live up to that to a certain extent.
But I gotta watch Ezra Miller, man.
I know that's there's always
I gotta be cringed out the entire time.
Yeah, he's a bit cringy.
I know there's gonna be two of them because you saw one of them wearing yellow, so he's obviously fucking.
He's gonna be both.
He's gonna be both.
Yeah, I think the problem is, I found that they do this a lot nowadays, where rather than introducing a new character, they'll just recycle a character that everyone knows. So instead of saying Flash and Reverse Flash, which is a different person,
a Zoom,
they'll just say, he's Professor Zoom. They'll just say, oh, it's Flash, and it's an alternate version of Flash.
I'm not gonna lie, I loved Professor Zoom. I loved him in the TV series. The TV series is very childish, but the first season of The Flash was really good because of Reverse
Flash.
The first. He was so good, man. Like, he was evil. He was great.
I
That guy.
really enjoyed the Flash. I watched the first 2 seasons. I haven't watched that. I didn't get into the third season, but I watched the first.
They get a little hokey after a bit, but
Yeah.
first season was amazing.
The thing I liked about it, I should say, was that they introduced a lot of the bad characters. You know, like they went through so many. Like every episode was a new baddie, right? Yeah.
Flash has a great rogues gallery.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I like Captain Frost and the Weather Master and all these kind of characters. I thought they were great. Supergirl looks great. See, somebody likes Supergirl. I like Supergirl. I like my female characters.
I love Supergirl when she's got blonde hair and she wears a nice skirt.
I know. So in a way, that's why I'm a little bit disappointed that they went that route, because in the, like, just so people that are not familiar, in the Flashpoint storyline, basically Superman has been kind of imprisoned and he's weakened from being kept away from the sun.
Yeah, he never got to be Superman. He was.
Yeah, so he's this kind of frail looking guy. He's super powerful, but he's still frail looking once he gets out into the sun.
They keep him in a red sun room, don't they?
Yeah, something where he's like basically, weakened.
Yeah.
To do that, like when they do the gender swap, I don't really want to see Supergirl that way. I want to see Supergirl in her full hotness. Just like it's a thing.
Yeah, is that what they did? They gender swapped Supergirl with a.
Okay, so who that's making? Yeah, that's what they did in the. Yeah, so that's what they're going to do. It's going to be Supergirl instead of Superman. Flash will not crack 80 million opening weekend. I think it might be 50, 60. You're probably right about that.
I would say.
But I think it's going to reach, like, overall, I think it's going to reach probably 300-400 million.
I think there's a lot of Batman fans. There's a lot of Michael Keaton fans.
I think it's going to be, like, maybe it could.
He looks terrible, though. I don't know if you saw him in the commercials. And like, he just looks like a fat guy in a bat suit, man. Like, it's just.
I didn't think he looked bad.
Yeah, they tried hard. I can tell. I know what's under there.
I think he looked more dynamic than he did when he was actually back in the day.
Did you just call Michael Keaton dynamic looking?
Well, I mean, he looked like he was doing some,
That's
something.
Fair. That's fair.
It's
fair.
Or we could have the TV actor as Flash. That's what I would have chosen. I don't know why they even switched. Why they chose Ezra Miller in the first place.
I'm a fan of the TV actor for Flash, but I guess I would like him over Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
I did love the Ezra Miller. This first time we saw Flash in whatever movie that was, the Justice League.
Yeah, Justice League.
That scene was absolutely brilliant. The first time we saw him.
I liked when he is like kind of like watching the,
Yeah, it was a great scene. It was a really good scene.
Mm-hmm.
Probably one of the best speedster scenes that we've gotten to see so far as that goes in Hollywood. But
yeah. Did you ever see the Snyder cut of?
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, it made Ezra Miller a little less annoying, I found.
It did make him less annoying because he was super annoying in the original cut. He was super annoying. I also like Flash isn't. I don't know. He doesn't suit the Flash for me, I guess. He just doesn't look like the Flash. He doesn't act like the Flash. He's not like the Flash. The Flash sort of has his shit together. I don't know. Flash is pretty cocky and pretty. Flash is pretty cool, man. And
I like the Flash. When I was a kid, I used to always pretend to be the Flash. I'd do that, that typical kid thing where you run really fast in a spot. And I'm like, I'm super fast. I used to love the Flash. I like the original Justice League cartoons, Justice Society. Where they would have the Justice League thing, and they'd you'd see Wonder Woman flying with her invisible jet. And,
I remember, man. I remember those were good cartoons.
I love that. And then they had the was it the Dynamic Twins or whatever they were called, and.
Oh yeah, the Wonder Twins or whatever.
Wonder Twins. Yeah. I was trying to remember the name.
Yeah.
Wonder Twins. And one could change into any element, any water thing.
They have
the other could change into animals.
They have to do the ring thing. Wonder Twins activate and all that.
Yeah. And then they have that stupid little monkey. Oh, I'm getting complimented here. I look like the Flash. Maybe. Now you've revealed my secret identity. So yeah. So there's DC fans that will be satisfied with anything that isn't mad at.
Yeah, which I ain't mad at. That's true. I'm
Yeah.
not mad at that either, Big.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
you know what? But like, I hope it's a good movie. I'm not saying I just don't like Ezra Miller. I like DC. I want them to succeed. DC's probably more of my favorite than Marvel, to be honest. Their books are written more for adults, especially now.
Yeah,
Disney has sort of messed up the Marvel brand quite a bit, in my opinion.
Me too. I agree.
Whether you like it that way, which is fine. I don't, but some people do, which I'm fine with. But if you want more adult stories, you're gonna have to go to DC.
Yeah, I mean, when I got into serious collecting, like in the early '90s, I didn't really consider Marvel like a great choice. Like, I went for a few of the Marvel keys, first Gambit and those kind of things. But really, DC was where the stories were. It was just
the stories are better. The art is usually a lot better nowadays, especially. It just is what it is. Their paper quality is better. Their books are better. Actually, everything about DC is better except for movies.
Yeah, but some of the comics nowadays, like, they've kind of gone woke too on DC. But I'm not
a little bit. Their Black Label is still pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see. What's Candlestick asking? We never had a blonde actor play Barry Allen and Wally West.
Yeah, you probably never will at this point.
Yeah, I think blonde characters are not really acceptable nowadays.
That's not that's not the in thing right now, my man.
Yeah. And hi, Night Tiger, another good friend of the channel. I don't know, but I'm sort of worried about James Gunn, tell you the truth. I'm not a big fan of James Gunn. Like, I know that's a bit of a controversial thing, but I'm not a big fan. I always found he
personally, I'm not a fan of James Gunn. His movies, I don't mind his movies.
No, but I mean, in terms of like his movies, like sometimes they get like the first Guardians of the Galaxy, awesome,
great,
okay?
Yeah, it was great.
But most of the time, I find that he doesn't take his own characters seriously. And he sort of sees them as a bit disposable, where he just like, we'll kill this character off, let them die stupidly. Like, he doesn't really care about human life a bit, and he just sort of, I don't like that. That's what really bothered me about Suicide Squad 2.
Right. How many have they done? Number 2 or 3 of those?
Yeah, it's up to 2.
It's up to 2. I didn't mind number 2 was the one with
Polka Dot Man and
I like that.
There was parts of it that were really good, and then like
I actually really
when Polka Dot Man dies, like, so they've sort of built him up as a cool guy. He's got this trauma with his mom, and they actually made him really cool. But then he dies just so stupidly. You feel like, well,
I just sold my first Polka Dot Man like a couple days ago.
But to me, that's James Gunn. He's almost like Taika Waititi, that they put in too much humor, and they don't take the story seriously enough.
Well, I don't know if he can actually do a story that has an already established character that everybody knows. James Gunn, his whole bag is to take
obscure characters
and to bring life to them. And since nobody knows who these characters are, he can do whatever he wants with them.
Yeah.
Besides the 10 people that used to like Guardians of the Galaxy before the movie came out.
Yeah.
Those people know that is not an accurate portrayal of the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Polka Dot Man will be back. I hope so.
I hope so. I actually
really liked him. I thought he was so cool.
Yeah, man. I've exponentially grown on YouTube since the last time I was on your show, Alan, which is
really
great. Yeah, man. I'm almost
so everyone go to
300 followers now.
Oh yeah, wow. I think you were like under 100 when
I was under 100 when we did
See, I'm helping channels.
It's all you, buddy. It's all you, man.
Yeah. So, yeah. No, it's always good. I don't know. If I can help another channel grow, then that's great. I
appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Yeah. And you're Canadian. Like, I would never do that to an American channel. Oh my God. But no, it's always cool. Actually, I have a present that I'm going to be giving you at some point, but I have to wait for it to arrive. I'll need your address.
Ah, all right.
Okay, so yeah, that's a great book.
Yeah, this is especially right now.
I got that book for $10.
Uh,
That's how much I paid for it when I bought it way back when. I bought it back in the 90s.
I must have paid $25 for this, probably.
Oh, that's really cheap too. That's
yeah. I didn't buy it. I bought it many moons ago.
Yeah.
Things weren't that expensive 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Oh, that's a great book.
Yeah.
I'm still sad about that one. I have it, but I sold my original copy.
Oh, you did, eh? The one that you like actually bought off the rack?
Yeah. I had it. I sold it for like $50. It was like probably like a high grade too. Oh, that's a good book too.
Yeah, I got a couple of these. Little Doctor.
That's one that you should get slapped. Isn't
yes, this is definitely one you should get slapped. I'm not a new Star Wars fan.
Me either.
Star Wars fan. I like. Don't get me wrong. I loved Rogue One. I enjoyed the one with Rey. The first one. I enjoyed the first one with Rey because it was Star Wars.
It was just basically. I found it was like a ripoff of the original movie.
It literally was Star Wars. It was. I might as well have, and it was. And guess what? I love Star Wars, so of course I'm going to love that movie.
Yeah.
Same fucking movie.
Yeah, well, it's the same movie. It was almost scene for scene. It was scene for scene almost. Like
what I am sick of those Star Wars. If you could just not do another Death Star, that'd be pretty fantastic.
You think like this is just like a bit of logic in my mind.
Off the top of my head.
If you're going to do a Death Star, don't put one single thing that you can just take out and it blows up your Death Star. That's a really bad
Death Star in every movie. And if it's not a Death Star, it's a Death Planet. Fucking ridiculous. And everybody could just fly a ship in there and just blow it up. Come on, guys.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense.
Give your head a shake, Empire. Give me your head a shake.
Yeah, there should be like a little one button that you just don't push that one button or the whole thing will blow up, and that's what
the same thing.
It's the same idea. It's
and even though I love Star Wars, I can hate it too. Guess what? I hated that a bunch of puppets beat up the Empire. I absolutely hated the.
Ewoks are awesome.
They're absolutely terrible.
They're the Force Jedi of the future.
I haven't seen it yet, but I really think she's going to do a great job. I actually
have a feeling it might be a good movie.
I think she's going to do awesome. I really do.
I'm not a big fan of musicals.
Well, she's very weird. I think she's going to do.
It might actually work.
Yeah.
It might actually work.
I love musicals personally. I actually really love musicals. I don't want the Joker to be a musical.
But it's going to be.
It's going to be apparently. I do love the Joker, the first one. I actually think that DC, it would behoove them to do a whole rogues gallery movies like that. They should do Mr. Freeze. They should do a Catwoman like that in the same vein that they did the Joker movie. I think it would. I think it would be awesome, and I think that they would make $1 billion a movie. It's a winning. It's a winning. It's a winning formula. It's.
Well, I actually really like the Joker movie.
So good. So good. As just
again, that's my point about it doesn't have to be the end of the world. Not like it was actually not even there was no real big thing that happened. It was the city kind of fell apart, and you can see how this guy he's a nobody, he's nothing, but he can rise in that kind of environment, which is really interesting. And that to me was
just as a movie. If you take the Joker out of it. Just say it's not a Joker movie. Just as a movie, it was a very good movie.
Well, to see that sort of breakdown of the guy,
yeah, it was amazing. It was very good. That's what happens when Scorsese is involved, I guess.
Yeah. So was he involved in that?
The Joker, he was involved, and then he left close to the end of it because he was also at the same time shooting that mob movie that he did. The 4-hour mob movie. It was so bad. And he left the Joker to do that, and I was like, "Well,
yeah, wow." Right. I know the mob one. That's the one where they use age, they make people look younger, but it didn't really work. Oh man, that was
just because you look younger doesn't mean you can actually move and act.
Yeah, they looked like I was like, are they supposed to be younger? Like I didn't even get it. To tell you the truth.
The problem is we've seen these actors when they were younger. We know how they moved.
They didn't move like that.
They didn't. They move like their old selves. I'm like, I'm not looking right, buddy. It's not.
Yeah. I find that they haven't quite figured out that technology yet.
Not quite. Not quite.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, wasn't it back in the late 90s they were trying to bring people back to life? Like Michael Jackson was doing stage
Oh
appearances.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like
Well, they would do these like hologram stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like Bing Crosby was, hey, I'm Bing, you know?
Well, they did one with soon after Michael Jackson died, they had like this,
Of course
you know,
did.
because he was supposed to do a tour.
Yes,
right?
yes. That's what
And they were like, oh, we can't lose this opportunity. And, you know, we got to. So they would do this hologram with Michael Jackson. It's just so hokey.
People and their money, bro.
Yeah, well, you can't, you know, you got to make your money, man.
I guess, but there's got to be some sort of, I don't know.
Yeah, a bit of a moral.
Dead, bro.
Yeah.
Like, just let it go. Let it go.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. But, yeah, it is what it is. Oh, you're just like showing all the big 90s keys here.
Well, that's because I'm a 90s kid, bud.
Yeah.
I'm a 90s kid. I know
that's a book that was one of my grails for the longest time.
I know you love your old 40s and 50s and 60s.
No, I
don't have enough of them.
I love Deadpool. I love Deadpool, actually.
But I really like to show off I like all my 90s shit. I'm a fan of nostalgia for me, and it all stems from late 70s, 80s, and 90s, really, is where my comic book collection really, that's where I sort of focused on, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You've seen some of the stuff I've sent you, like all the robots and Transformers and all that shit.
Yeah.
That's where I lay.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, yeah, that's a cool, yeah.
Spider-Man could definitely work as a TV series.
Yeah, so could Spider-Man work as a TV series? Yes. Yes. I think he is a TV series. I think there is a TV series with Spider-Man right now, isn't there? Like Spider-Man and Friends or something like that, or
yeah, but that's the one for kids. They'll change that in 10 years. They'll grow up a little bit. They'll do another one for those same kids. Like they've done it to us, they'll do it to them.
Yeah, of course.
So they'll be buying all the movies. Yeah, they gotta keep
it going.
Going.
Buy the product, right? Buy the product and wait for the next product.
I put it on my Instagram that Spider-Man and his friends or whatever. I put it. I'm like, show me the future. This is the future, man. Like, it's Spider-Man, it's Miles, and it's Spider-Gwen. That is.
Yeah, I think if Miles Morales, his first appearance, Ultimate Fallout 4, wasn't such a common book, it would be worth a lot more.
A lot more. It's already worth too much, but
it is. Yeah,
it would be worth a lot more. You're not wrong.
I paid $50 for my copy.
You're a jerk.
It's actually a 9.4 like slabbed, but I think if I cracked it out and then I was the one that sent it off to get. I didn't know about pressing at the time.
Okay.
So it was a little bit.
Good thing no color breaks, presser and cleaner.
Yeah, no color breaks, nothing there. But if it was just if it was pressed, it'd probably be a 9.8. But
yeah, Lady Gaga's going to do well. I think my brother was pissed off because he thinks obviously Margot Robbie was the best thing since sliced bread. And
I like Margot Robbie, but
she's fine. But the only reason he's pissed off because he's an absolute fucking guy, and he's like, he thinks she's hot, and
she's hot.
And Lady Gaga isn't quite as hot. Oh no, I got now Lady. I'm like, dude, did you watch her last movie? The one where she was like a cowboy singer or whatever? He's like, yeah. I said, was she great? He's like, yeah. Like, do you think she's going to be bad in this? Everything she does, she's great at. Of course.
Yeah, no, she's actually a good actress. And,
good actress, great stage,
singer. Yeah.
Great stage performance, good singer. Yeah.
Wait, what if Bruce Wayne came from a relatively poor or middle class family? So this is something people don't understand about Golden Age characters. If you look at pretty much every Golden Age character, they're always like the
playboys. They're all
they're elite. Like they're
high class. High class playboys.
Because what it was, and Superman is an exception from this, but what it was is people wanted to imagine themselves like attaining that themselves, like that some kind of like role model for where they could go with their life. I want to be like him, someday.
And that's why Stan Lee changed. That's why Stan Lee did Spider-Man and the.
Yeah, and that was the difference about the silver versus the golden. Yeah. Silver Age was bringing it back down to the common man.
Yeah.
But it was just a very different way of thinking. you know, it shows the difference in a generation, right?
Oh yeah, everybody was like had sciencey jobs, and they were all like well-to-do and
Yeah,
high society, high
yeah,
flying.
yeah,
And it was pretty interesting, to be
yeah.
honest. Old
But
comics in that
so
respect.
I think if, in a way, I'm not sure if Bruce Wayne would work as like a common Joe kind of guy.
I think Bruce Wayne would be better. There was a story came out with the I have it all. I can't remember the exact names of the titles at the point. Not I Am Batman. It was around that time,
Oh, okay, I think.
and he was poor.
Mhm.
He was no money. His money was somebody else had his money at the time, and the books were great. I was like,
Mhm.
it was very refreshing to see Batman and have to deal with different issues besides kicking ass, I guess.
To me, one of the things that makes Batman kind of cool is the fact that he has this money that he can play with. So he can get all the cool gadgets, he can have the cool car, he can have the cool boomerang thing, and you know,
I guess I'd like to see Batman more like Tony Stark,
like
where he like works on his stuff as well, but like without the money. He can build like cool stuff. Maybe that's why I liked it so much, because Batman had to resort to more intelligence as opposed to monetary.
so Golden Age is directed at small boys, Silver Age, Marvel at preteens and teens. I would agree about the Silver Age, but Golden Age, I'm not so sure. Like I think it was more like Golden Age was really for everybody. That was the one time where everybody read comics.
I'm with you, Nope. I root for the Joker too, buddy.
Yeah. Um, Bruce Wayne is just spoiled rich boy. That's why I root for the Joker. Um, so you know what? I think if Bruce Wayne was poor, did you ever see the movie Mystery Men?
Yes, I did see the movie.
Okay, I think it would be like that, where the guy he would be like, this guy, kind of wants to be a good superhero.
Yeah.
You know,
There was a documentary, man. There was a documentary about these kids that did the same thing, and it was cringy to watch.
Yeah. I have a feeling it would be like that because
it's so cringy.
Yeah, it'd be almost like another movie like that was what's it called? Kick-Ass.
Oh yeah, Kick-Ass was actually pretty good though. Kick-Ass was a good movie. I enjoyed that.
I like Mystery Men and Kick-Ass. I love both movies. But my point is it's like these people that don't have any money, don't have any money, and just would be like, Ezreal Batman was the Iron Man of DC. Yeah, so I actually liked Ezreal. I actually liked that series at the time.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I don't like Batman a lot right now because everybody knows he's Batman. He's got like 500 family members now. Fucking ridiculous.
Oh, Spider-Man or
Batman?
Batman. It's like everybody's
like everybody on the planet knows Batman's Bruce Wayne.
He has like 20 cousins or something like that. It's a bit. I think that's what they do. They get a little desperate, right? They're like, they do that with Spider-Man too. And there's like
Spider-Man's written so bad right now; it's awful.
They have like 1 million goblins that he has to fight, and
they have to stop making Spider-Man a kid. Spider-Man's a fucking adult. He should be at this point in Spider-Man's life. He should be kicking fucking ass. He should be the leader of the Avengers. He should be the leader of Fantastic. He should be part of some amazing.
I think that would be an interesting storyline where they take him and make him a dad. Like
make him a fucking adult for cause
make him he's married to Mary Jane.
You have Miles Morales. All the kid stuff to Miles Morales. All the stuff that we saw Peter Parker go through. That's Miles Morales now.
Yeah, but you could make a serious story with Peter Parker.
Story about Peter Parker and kicking ass. He's Spider-Man. He's one of the best superheroes of all time, and he's sleeping on his fucking buddy's couch, and he lost a 500 fortune company, and he's an idiot. He's also brilliant, and he's also a genius. I don't understand why they write Spider-Man so badly.
Yeah,
so much.
Well, they want to keep him poor. They always want to keep him.
Yeah, let the poor kid have some money. He's awesome. He's rich and he's Spider-Man. He's Spider-Man and he's a genius. Come on, give the kid. Yeah. And he's also like 30 now, or 35 or 40. Like he should be at the top of his game at this point. Like should be kicking ass, taking names.
Yeah. or at least different league of what he's doing. I
Yeah,
think.
100%. He should be in a different time, different league.
Okay. I love the Joker, but I'm tired of him in every Batman book. Let's see another villain scare. I would actually like them. Like, I actually liked when they did the Joker Who Laughs or Batman That Laughs.
Batman Who Laughs is great.
Yeah, Joker That Laughs. The Batman That Laughs. But it's a Joker character. I thought that was a new twist on it. I thought that was interesting. And I think they should do that every so often. Develop a new rogues gallery. Bring out the old ones every so often, but not overuse them.
I think Dope's right, though. We need a Professor Pig. We need Clayface. Yeah. I think they're doing Clayface now, and I'm really excited about that. Clayface.
I heard that he's going to be in the next movie.
He is going to be. And that's pretty awesome. So that's exciting that they're going to use new, like we've seen a lot of Batman movies, and I will see every other one. I will see them all because I love Batman. But I want to see more of his stuff. I want to see more. Like, they don't have to just keep using the Joker. Like, we've seen it. Or Catwoman, I get it. She's the hot one. I get it.
I like Catwoman.
Me too, but I've seen her a lot in every fucking goddamn Batman series.
I would actually like to see, like, kind of like an interesting, like a Catwoman story where it's sort of like she's like a burglar. Like that sort
of she's like where she's doing what she's supposed to do. Like
what she's doing was, and I'd like the movie to end with her getting like captured by Batman or something like that, where it's that sort of like almost like cameo scene of Batman in there. I just think it would be kind of a fun way to end it.
I like it.
So
hopefully we get Halle Berry for that one.
Yeah, I mean, well, that Halle Berry Catwoman was painful.
Yeah, so it was bad.
That was a pretty bad movie. I like Michelle Pfeiffer.
She was so good. She was so good. Yeah.
I think she was my favorite Catwoman.
Wow, the suit, man. The suit was pretty awesome. It was something. It was something.
I just like the fact that they had her being this kind of mousy kind of character at the beginning. And then she becomes this hot,
Oh, yeah. She was awesome. She was definitely awesome.
Really interesting, yeah. Rosie O'Donnell as Catwoman.
That would work. Now, they did a black...
Rosie O'Donnell. Wait, am I thinking... isn't Rosie O'Donnell the fat woman?
Yeah. She's thick. She's definitely thick. They did a Catwoman story recently in Black Label, and Catwoman's... she's older in this, and she's thicker. She was like an ex-dancer and stuff. It's very good.
Okay.
It's a great story for Batman and Catwoman, to be honest. I think it was Batman and Catwoman, Black Label. Came out in 21, I think.
Oh, okay.
Excellent story. Good art, excellent story. But Catwoman's a thick gal. She's a thick gal. She's grown up a little old in that one.
Okay. I kind of want my Catwoman to be sexy.
I get it.
I like my.
This was very noir, though. It was a good story. Like very, very, very cool. Very sort of detective-y.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually liked noir storytelling style, but actually that's why that was the thing that I liked about the latest Batman movie. I liked that it was a detective story.
It definitely hit a lot of good notes for me. I didn't like some of it, but I don't like a lot of everything. So I didn't like the way they portrayed Batman. I didn't like the guy. He was a little sad all the time.
He was like emo.
Yeah,
emo.
I just don't know if I want to do this, Alfred. I'm just so sad.
Yeah, it's like,
give me a coffee.
That part I didn't like. I just like the detective part. Like it kind of reminded me of Seven.
That was a good movie. Seven was a great movie.
Yeah, great movie. Just same idea. Like they're always like trying to find before the next victim, or
I like the filmography of it. I didn't like the way they portrayed Batman.
That was the issue that I had. That was
shouldn't have loud steps, and that's not how he makes people afraid. Yada yada yada. I don't want to go into that. I also thought that the Riddler was very cringy, and I like that actor. He plays weird guys all the time.
But in this, he was a bit cringy.
He's super cringy, and it seems to me like he was trying to make the Riddler the Joker. and the
It
Riddler's the
seemed like
Riddler.
that, didn't it? Yeah, it was a little bit weird. Yeah.
The best Riddler I've seen so far, and I hate to say it, is in that Gotham TV series. That guy was a wicked Riddler. They should really look into keeping that guy as the Riddler.
I haven't seen. I've seen the first season of the Gotham, but I haven't seen.
It's very good until all of a sudden the Riddler and Penguin start like having a relationship. Then I had to stop watching it.
What do you mean relationship?
They fell in love, or the Riddler fell in love with Penguin. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, see, that's what happened to me too, Alan. That's what happened. There it is, right there. I was like, oh my goodness. Man.
Seriously?
Yeah, it happened, bro. It happened.
Oh, I like. Oh man. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay.
But that Riddler, because before all that weird love stuff happened, he was a very good Riddler. His character as a person was good. His Riddler character was very good. They used him really well. I think they should use him more.
So, would you watch a Batman Shadow crossover animated movie?
Yes.
Well, actually, Batman, his origin is he's a bit of a ripoff of the Shadow. Actually.
Yeah, I would say I would absolutely watch the shit out of that.
That'd be great. I like the Shadow.
I love the Shadow.
I just thought the Shadow was awesome.
Batman and the Shadow fucking had me at.
You know what's really weird? The Shadow movie didn't do well at all, but I liked it. I thought it was.
It could have been that really purple suit. I don't know.
I don't know. No, you're thinking the Phantom.
Oh, I am thinking the Phantom.
You're thinking the Phantom, but no, the Shadow is cool. The Shadow's with Alec Baldwin.
That's right. Maybe it's because of Alec Baldwin.
And he would have this kind of big nose, and he would kind of, when he would go into his like mystic mode, he could, he would change his look. I like the Shadow. I thought it was cool. Okay, what else? One sec here.
Yeah.
I feel like after the Guardians this week, Rocket Raccoon is the top 3 Marvel MCU character. He is bringing big money. 30 years from now, kids will be grown-ups and want rocket stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The funny thing is I always liked Rocket as a character even before Guardians of the Galaxy, just because I like these quirky characters. I always thought
when people were talking about Rocket Raccoon being killed in this new Guardians,
he's not. No, he's not.
He's, first of all, they're not going to kill. They're not going to kill 40 years of stuffed fucking animals. They're not going to kill. They're not going to kill 40 more years of kids.
We have this golden goose. Raccoon. Yeah. We have this golden goose. We should just kill it.
We should just kill it.
Not gonna happen.
You know what we'll do next? We'll kill Grogu too. Fuck that. Fuck that baby.
Let's just kill all the characters.
Let's kill all the baby Yodas and the babies and the
and
the stuffed animals.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Yeah.
Obviously, Disney's not going to do that. That's their money, man.
How come they keep saying Superman's Rogue Gallery isn't great or rememberable? Who's in? Like what we have is in Superman's Rogue Gallery. We have Brainiac, we have Lex Luthor,
Grundy,
but Grundy, how much he didn't make that much of an appearance.
No, but he's part of Super. They always get him to fight.
What people don't realize about Superman's Rogue Gallery, and this is kind of the weird thing about Superman, was there was during the Golden Age, there was a period where they said, "Oh, we're gonna stop having like Rogue's Gallery, where we're gonna have him fighting like people that are like brand name," and they just had him fighting regular Joes for about 10 years, and I think that kind of had a bit of an impact on. They did the same with Batman as well, where for a while he wasn't fighting like the Joker and all these main characters. He was just fighting like random street thugs and stuff like that. And I think
I can see it with Batman, but it's really difficult to see that with Superman. Batman, that's sort of what he should.
But they did that with Superman as well. Like my point is so I found like with Superman they never really built the Rogue Gallery as much as they did with Batman. I think Batman has a better, more established Rogues Gallery than Superman did.
By far, he's got a more established. So does the Flash, for Christ's sake. Flash got a great Rogues Gallery too.
Yeah, actually, I when you look into it, there's so many great characters there, but
good characters.
I don't think
Superman's got one. He just needs.
But Superman really doesn't.
He's so fantastical. It's hard to give him somebody. Oh, Alan, you're gone.
That was my wife calling.
Oh, okay, all right.
It knocks out my phone when she called.
Superman.
Okay, so
overpowered.
Parasite, Darkseid. Yeah, those are great characters.
Darkseid is great. I have the first Dark Side around here somewhere.
Yeah. So I'm.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
can you hear the phone?
Mr. Mixaplex or whatever. He's great.
Yeah, Mixaplex
He's
is
actually one of the most overpowered characters in all of comic books.
yeah, he's like those godlike characters, like
Yeah, he's
Batman.
God. He might as well be God.
Him and Batmite. They should have a movie.
That would be great. That would be hilarious, actually.
Yeah. Oh, Zod actually okay. Yeah. Now that I think about it, you're right. You got okay. Okay. Maybe I'm mistaken about.
He's got a decent gallery. He's got a decent.
But you know what's funny? Maybe the reason I don't really think of it the way I do with Batman is Batman's rogue gallery. They kind of sometimes would work together.
That's true.
And whereas I can't really think of times where you get Superman's rogue gallery working together.
Not often. You get Lex Luthor hiring them as hiring a portion.
Yeah, Lex Luthor will. Yeah, that's true.
He'll hire them.
I don't know. I'm not sure why. Okay, I don't know. I agree.
I just don't think Superman's rogues gallery has ever been called a rogues gallery.
Maybe that's why. Maybe that's it.
I just don't think it ever has been. I don't think people look at his as bad guys, his villains, as a rogue gallery. Even though he's got a lot of villains. He's got more villains than probably everybody.
Yeah, I actually, the more you think about it, but also I found that with Superman's rogue gallery, they're almost one and done kind of characters. I mean, they do appear multiple times, but it's not quite like the only one that really is a staple kind of character would be Lex Luthor, in my opinion. Whereas
Lobo's one of my favorites, Biggie. Lobo's.
Yeah, Lobo, but I don't think of
all time.
But Lobo is not a Superman rogues gallery.
He's not a rogues gallery, but he fights Superman once in a while. That's that's how he comes in. All that.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, that is not.
He's not.
Yeah, that's sort of like I guess that's sort of like Catwoman would be. That kind of same level where it's like good guy, bad guy.
Yeah.
Anti-hero kind of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I was never a big fan of Superman, strangely.
I loved Superman when I was a kid. I still like Superman. I don't know. He is a symbol of hope, man. He's a symbol of hope. He's a symbol of, he'll give everything he'll sacrifice everything for us, and I want to be like that. I want to be just like Superman. So.
Well, yeah, he's the ultimate superhero kind of.
Yeah, man.
But he's a hard character to write because of the fact that he is perfect.
Well, and that's why when you see him in movies, they have to write him out of movies half the time. Like he'll be out of the movie for half the movie, either on some quest or because you can't have him there the entire time, or he'll just win. Like it'll be over. It'll be over, and you might as well not have a movie because Superman's here. So they got to do some. They always have to put him far away or.
Superman versus Putin. Putin would buy some kryptonite and just take out Superman. Actually, speaking of Superman versus, I actually enjoyed Superman versus Batman. I actually didn't mind that. The only thing that I didn't like about it was
Martha,
how easy. It's like that part really bothered me. It's like that it was so easy to all of a sudden resolve everything and like, oh, okay, now we're on the same side. We have the same mother or the same.
Your mom's got the same name as mine. Shit, bro.
God. Well, why didn't you say that in the first place? It's like that's not a compelling reason for them to get. So that bothered me. But I liked the idea of seeing your two heroes fighting each other. They always try to, like in comics, they always try to find an excuse, like how can we get Spider-Man versus the Thing, or Spider-Man versus Wolverine, or like some two characters people like, and then
the problem with Batman versus Superman is they lost the meaning of the book. They wanted the Batman doesn't win. Batman knows he's not going to win. Batman is fucking well aware that Superman can kick the shit out of him. All Batman wants to do is make Clark bleed. That's all he wants to do, to let him know. And that is more powerful than Batman actually winning or going, Martha, why did you say that name? I don't know. There's a power in that when you know that you're going against something that you're gonna die, and all you want to do is just make it bleed once, you know.
Yeah, I think that's a very interesting way of taking it. So yeah, I think you're right. If Superman had a video game and you saw all of his rogues gallery, maybe that would bring more light to them. But that's the other big thing with the difference between Batman and Superman. Superman's rogues are not as well known. Like
Yeah,
with, you could. It's sort of like you could say to most people, do you know the Joker? And they'd be like, yeah, of course, the Joker. Do you know Harley Quinn? Or do you know like certain characters from Batman's rogues gallery? People would know. Like Catwoman would be another one.
We've also done 8 million Batman movies.
Yeah, maybe that's another thing. But we did a bunch of Superman movies.
That's true. He always seems to fight the same guys, right? Zod.
It's always Zod and Lex Luthor.
Yeah, well, that's because they can't do a good Brainiac. When Tim Burton was going to do the Batman movie, the Superman movie,
they were going to do the Brainiac.
Do Brainiac. You should see some of the art that he had for the Brainiac character.
Oh, that would have been cool.
So awesome, dude. It was, although
I'd like to see the Brainiac. That would be an interesting character choice.
It'd be an amazing character to have. It would be a cool ass character. Although he doesn't really do much. Like he's not. Like he's pretty much just a thinker, right? So he's not really. There's not a lot of action involved. It would be more of a.
Well, I mean, I always find that when you get these kind of thinker characters, you can create very interesting scenes, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of,
well, he's one of the best bad guys by far. He's an amazing.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. One sec here. Bane and Black Mask should be used more.
It's a Black Mask. He's a Spider-Man bad guy, isn't he?
No, Black Mask was the one from Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
He was wasn't he in? Wasn't he the one? Like in the last Wonder Woman, the guy that
was that Black Mask? I always think of him as the guy from Spider-Man for some reason. He's got the black mask on his face.
No. Oh no, not Black. Oh no, sorry, not Wonder Woman. Harley Quinn.
Okay.
Harley Quinn movie. The last Harley Quinn movie was the Black Mask. Sorry, I was messing up my movies. Yeah, but he wasn't that great. But that was such a bad movie. That last Harley Quinn movie. Did you see it?
I liked it, brother. I enjoyed it. I did not.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. That was the one where they went to like the dot, like polka dot.
The Thumbhouse.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
No. That's Suicide Squad.
Oh, okay.
No, there was a Harley Quinn movie. The Fantabulous.
The Emancipation of the Fantabulous Harley Quinn or something. Yeah.
That was terrible.
Yeah, that was pretty
terrible.
Like, Margot Robbie.
Birds of Prey.
Margot Robbie also got like she doesn't want to be sexualized in that manner, so she didn't want to. I know. Regardless,
man,
yeah,
you are sexy. Just be sexy, okay? Like that's why we hired you.
Yeah. You don't hear a guy saying, "I'm not going to take off my shirt for this scene because I don't want to be a sex symbol."
Yeah. Well, that's why
Thor, you got to keep all your clothes on, Thor.
Yeah, that's why I don't take off my shirt. I don't want to be a sex symbol.
Yeah.
I try to keep it just comics on this channel.
Yeah, me too. It's not the
I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to scare people either. That's the big thing. One sec. Do you got the first Red Hood? No, I don't. It's a comic on my want list, Biggie.
Interesting.
It's I actually had it. My comic shop sells those big books every so often, right? So they have the first Solomon Grundy, the first Red Hood. Those are two books that I really, really want. I was debating about doing the thing where I do installments on them, but I bought some other big book.
Solomon Grundy is pretty good.
Yeah. I wanted his original Golden Age one where he's like kind of like zombie like.
Yeah, that one. That's the one that I would obviously. That's the one that you'd want, right?
Yeah.
Especially you like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So, and I really want to get I'd like to get the first Red Hood too, where, spoiler, it's the Joker, but
No.
but he's on the cover, and it's just great. It's a great cover. I like the covers where you got the character kind of presented on the cover. You know what I mean? Like he's like, yeah,
Yeah, I hate first appearances where the character is actually not on the cover. It bothers me.
yeah.
I think they should always be on the cover, but that's just me.
So yeah, so we should probably wrap up. I mean, we've been going for an hour and a half.
Yeah, buddy.
But it
Anybody
was
have any
fun.
questions? What's going on?
Yeah.
No questions? I can get the heck out of here.
Yeah, but it was very fun doing this pre-recorded video with you.
It was great. Yeah, great. Super.
Yeah, it was very unintentional that it was live. I got to check the other ones that I've scheduled. Make sure they're not all going to go live. Could Dick Grayson Robin work in Batman movie as a kid or an adult? Like how they did Bucky Barnes in Captain America movies.
Well, they were both supposed to be the same age, weren't they? They were.
Yeah. So original Bucky is like a kid, right? He's like the Robin. I actually like when they have that dynamic of like sort of the young like Robin, because you can do certain certain things with him.
Yeah, I just.
It's a bit of child abuse, but it's
that's it. Yeah, that's all I can think of it. Honestly, a 12-year-old, a 13-year-old. Yeah, let's just go fight some bad guys in your underwear, no less. On your underwear.
Yeah.
Because
wear this sexy pair of underwear, little boy.
I don't know, man. I never understood that Robin character for a while. It's always too. I liked in Frank Miller's version. I liked the young girl that was sort of thrust into becoming Robin. I enjoyed that story of Robin. I don't know. I like Robin shouldn't be fighting any bad guys till he's 18 or 19.
Yeah, maybe.
When you can smoke, you can start fighting bad guys.
Yeah. But usually, I mean, Robin's usually young.
Like super young. Yeah.
Like he's a teen. He's a teenager. Yeah. Because the whole idea of the Robin character is so that comic readers would be like, oh, that's me. I could be,
Yes. Yeah. Because,
But, they never use Robin correctly, if you think about it. What they should do is have it where, let's say there's like something where you need to infiltrate some younger organization.
Yeah.
That would, where he has to kind of have like something's happening at the school.
That's how Robin should be used. That's exactly.
But he's never used that way. Never. No,
he shouldn't be out fighting fucking the Joker and Bane and shit.
Yeah.
That's child.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So but I don't know. That's how they always wrote him. Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah. So yeah. Actually, I thought that was weird when they made Bucky old. Actually, I thought it was really weird about.
Yeah, because they sort of. He wasn't in the comics. He was like really young, right?
Yeah.
In the movies, he's about the same, maybe a little older than.
He's Captain like the brother, America. Isn't he the brother of Captain America?
Captain America always seemed younger than Bucky for some reason when they were.
First. I thought they were. Yeah, I thought he was like the older brother, actually.
Yeah, it's sort of like the older best friend or something, that kind of guy.
Yeah. But I thought Bucky was kind of weird that way.
I like the character though. The actor is really good. I thought he did a great job as the Winter Soldier.
I mean, those movies I really enjoyed. The first, the Winter Soldier and
one of the best.
First Avengers and all those, like that kind of time frame of movies.
Winter Soldier is one of the best ones that came out.
Yeah,
so good. So good.
Mark get back to that level. They could grind out movie after movie that was awesome.
And we would go watch it, and now we know that they're doing subpar stuff.
Yeah, and they're going to grind out every subpar movie.
Well, also when you have things being leaked, like people saying, "We don't even want you to like comic books. We think it's better if you don't like comic books. In fact, and then you can work on our movies." Like that makes sense to me. I want people that know the industry, that know what the heck's going on with comic books.
Well, know what's going on and also love the material.
Because regardless of what kind of movie you're going to make, you should still do a little bit of fan service. Every fan wants their dick sucked a little bit. That's
Well,
just
what
the way
I
it
find
is.
is like they do fan service, but it's always in the back, and it's like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
always-
did you see this? This is the geeky thing that we have for you, the fan.
Yeah.
And then we're destroying the character you actually love, but
Oh,
we have this fan thing for you.
yeah, that's what they do.
It's painful.
They rape and pillage my childhood as often as possible.
Yeah, but
I'd
yeah,
love
it
to
was
see
fun.
a hot Batgirl. That'd be great. Batgirl's one.
Yeah, I'd love to see. I'd like to see women be women again in movies. Like be sexy, be like that femme fatale kind of element to them.
No, women are men now.
Yeah, I know.
And they're all better at it than us.
Yeah, they're
good for them.
What really bothers me about any time a woman's in a movie, they only have one woman. Like it's always the same character. So if there's 3 women in the movie, they're all playing the same role. It's like
strong, independent woman,
smart,
no man.
competent. We don't need no man.
Yeah.
It's like how can I tell any of these people apart? Like they're all the same person. It's so non-interesting. It's like
you're not wrong, actually. You're not wrong.
I always like the idea of women, using their female charms to, like that's what I liked about Poison Ivy as a character. Poison Ivy, she'll use like her female charms to kind of, seduce the man, kind of get him off guard, and then take advantage of him.
But I also think that, okay, woman actor, superhero actors, let's just say, Black Widow is not going to throw around Thor. Like, you get a character that's 10 pounds. She's not going to be able, like, I don't care how much training any motherfucker has. Sorry about my language. They are not going to be able to throw around 400-pound dudes. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen. The worst of that, like the movie that really bothered me for that, and it's not a superhero movie, it's not related, was Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, it was terrible.
There was a scene where they had this girl.
Cameron Diaz on the.
Oh no, not the later one. The more recent one with Christian Stewart and all those ones.
I can't do it. I can't watch it, man.
Oh man, there was a scene where they had this girl. They just, she's smart. She has all the girls are smart.
Smart, genius, super strong.
Yeah, she's got this technology that's going to save or destroy the world, whatever you want to do with it. And then, but she's in a scene where she has no training how to fight. She's not a fighter. She's a smart girl, but she's up against a guy that's like 300-400 pounds and just a trained assassin kind of level guy. And she destroys him. She just destroys him. He has no hope. And it's like, really?
Hey, Ray beat Kylo Ren, a Luke Skywalker trained, Jedi trained, Snoke trained, but Ray doesn't even know what a lightsaber is.
How do you turn this thing on? Like,
oh, wow, I won. How did that even happen?
It's like
ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous.
Yeah. Actually, I have a friend. He always complains about one other thing that's really funny about her. She was born and raised on a desert planet. Okay, on a desert planet. So deserts. Think deserts.
Yeah.
Yet there's a scene in the movie where she swims.
Yes, she wouldn't know how to swim, would she?
No.
not on a desert planet, she wouldn't. That's for sure.
Yeah, so that always bothers him. He always goes on about it whenever I talk to one of my friends. It's kind of funny. Do you think Harley Quinn ruined Poison Ivy? Margot Robbie wants Harley Quinn Poison Ivy romance. That's why she left. Yeah, I actually don't like the fact that they try to like make everything LGBTQ plus. If
Margot Robbie is gonna play a lesbian, I will go watch that.
Well, yeah, but I actually I want her to not be a lesbian. I want her to.
I get that. I understand what you're saying.
My thing is like I kind of want.
They're doing that in the comic books though. Like she is.
I know they are. It's like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy.
Yeah, they're together. So.
Yeah, but I like just because the source material has it now, doesn't mean that's why I'm saying like I don't like the current. DC
the
stuff.
state. Yeah, that's fair.
Well, I kind of like the idea of Harley Quinn, like her original story, where she's like, in love with the Joker, and that twisted love that they have. I think that's a much more interesting thing. That's
Well,
another thing that you don't see in movies nowadays. You don't see women and men.
Superman's kid's way tougher than his dad. He takes dick, and that takes a tough man to do that.
Oh no. But did you? Another thing that I've noticed in modern movies. Did you notice that there's no romance in movies nowadays?
I don't think you're allowed to. Honestly, I honestly just don't think you're allowed.
Like where you have like a straight woman and a straight man together.
I don't even think. Yeah, I don't think anybody wants to even cross those lines anymore. To be honest.
Yeah, but it's okay if it's gay. It's not okay if it's straight. Which I think that kind of ruins movies. I realized, like, I was watching some anime, like, and I feel like I'm watching more and more anime nowadays.
Yeah, anime.
Because the stories actually are interesting. They're like a real story. That people act like people I can say, oh, I can relate to those people. They're semi-real people. Whereas movies nowadays,
I loved Castlevania. It was really good.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Castlevania, that's a definite anime you should be watching.
And if you look at that story, there's love in that. Like the guy, and she's actually pretty.
Oh, she's kick ass in that.
She's badass, and she can handle herself, and she's a different type of fighter. She's not a brawn. She's not going to be punching people.
She's magic, right? Magic,
and that's kind of more realistic. She's too wafy to be like this fighter kind of style.
Yeah, that's like, I don't get me wrong. Gal Gadot, she's super beautiful, and she looks great in her Wonder Woman outfit. I find that she doesn't have enough hips for me, but whatever. She looks like she might need a sandwich or two. But she's too thin. She's tall and wafy. I'm like, how do you even pick up a sword? How do you get that thing off the ground? Your arms are gonna fall off, man. The minute I don't know. She's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think she's the perfect Wonder Woman.
Do you think we'll have to compete with other women over women?
You already do, buddy.
Yeah.
You already do, my man. You already do.
Yeah, I just feel like they don't like women to be competitive with each other. Actually, they're all like flat. Like, it's not like women are basically all the same in movies nowadays.
Yeah, I think he's talking. I think he's talking about competing with women for other women.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh yeah. There's no women for us anymore. They're all for each other.
That's it. It's a revolution, baby.
Yeah, it's a very sad situation. I'm hoping that movies will kind of go back to an earlier time, maybe.
That's. They're going to make a few, but they're not gonna. It's not going to go back to that. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah.
Until they realize, if you go woke, you go broke. Until they
Well, that's what it is. That's what it is nowadays. Like I'd like to make, like, if I had the power, I would make a very sexist movie, but just where women are women. And where
I love the strong woman character, but I just think
it can be strong,
be written properly. That's all. It just needs to be natural. Like,
you look at
a strong woman, and every guy that surrounds her is a complete loser or misogynist or rapey or like the Hulk, the She-Hulk. Like, every guy in that story was a trope of a bad dude.
Yeah, those guys are.
Some were alcoholics. Yeah, it was bad. Yeah. It was just bad.
But my point is, like, for example, the type of woman that I would create is like a Princess Leia. If you look at her as a character, she was sexy. She had her moments of being demure. These are female traits.
Yeah.
And yet, she could kick butt when she needed to. And she wasn't like this helpless woman, even though she was a princess that got rescued.
Hey, I like.
You know what I mean? So if you think about that, that's like all the tropes are there, like those patriarchal tropes. But at the same time, it's a good story.
As long as it's a good story and it's written properly, that's all it takes.
Yeah.
Just don't force it. you don't force the agenda, and it should be.
That's my point. That's my point. Like I just want women to be women, and you know.
I could care less if they're all gay. I don't give a fuck. If it makes sense in the story, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I'd be with you on that one too.
Yeah, as long as it makes sense in the story. Like if I'm going to watch Brokeback Mountain, I don't expect everybody to be straight.
Yeah, but at the same time, I think I like, because I'm straight, I really don't want to see too much gay stuff.
Yeah, that's fair. No, and that's understandable. But you know,
It's weird.
they've been watching a lot of straight stuff for years, so maybe they
I
feel.
am a caveman, just so you know.
Maybe they feel the same way, Alan. Who knows?
Yeah,
that stuff doesn't bother me. I don't really care about all that stuff too much.
It bothers me. I don't know why. You know, the funny thing is, like, when I was growing, like in university, most of my friends were gay. Like one of my best friend, he came out to me.
It's just the bad writing, Alan. It's the bad writing and the forcing of agendas. That's all.
But I don't know. I'm not a big fan of guys kissing. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Gross.
I don't know why.
Yeah, no, it's pretty yellow because you're straight, bro. Because
yeah, so I do like seeing, you know, sexy girls, and you know.
Yeah, I know. It's there's the conundrum right there. Two guys kissing is gross. Two girls kissing is hot. I get it.
Yeah, that's weird, isn't it?
I think we can all understand that. I think we can all.
Yeah.
We can all appreciate that.
Marvel had a mirror universe like DC did. What villains would be interesting to see here as heroes, besides Doctor Doom and Magneto? And what heroes would be interesting to see as villains? It'd be interesting to see Superman as a villain, because he's a world destroyer.
Yeah, we've seen Superman as a villain too many times already.
Yeah, I mean, they did it in Bright's, what is it, like the one where he's like a boy.
Yeah, they did it that. Oh yeah, Bright Side or whatever.
Bright something.
Brightburn.
Brightburn. Yeah.
They also did it in Superman. They did it in it was a video game, Injustice. The Injustice storyline, Superman's a bad guy.
And Flash we've seen as a bad guy just because we had Reverse Flash anyway.
And if you watch The Boys, that's literally DC as bad guys.
Yeah.
Like, you know, we've seen it quite a bit but he's asking for Marvel. I think Spider-Man would be a really interesting.
Am I a fan of the sexy girl genre? Yes, I am.
I think Spider-Man would be an interesting bad guy, because even when everything goes shitty, Spider-Man has never been written like a bad guy. He's always been written as a good guy for some reason.
Yeah. And that's actually one of the things that I liked about Spider-Man, the first movie with Tobey Maguire, where in a way he actually does do something that's bad. You know, he does the wrestling thing and he lets the bad guy get away because he doesn't get paid.
Yeah.
And that's a bad thing. That was a bad thing, but it had consequences.
Yeah, that's what made him.
And that made him more stick to the path of being like a good guy. I think that was really important. And I find that nowadays that's another thing that bothers me about modern movies. They don't have very good morals. Like the morals are very questionable.
Yeah. Well, everybody likes an anti-hero nowadays, right?
No, but I like, give me, like, pick a movie and think of what is their moral compass in terms of the movie.
Oh yeah.
I feel like their moral compass is like spinning around. They have no sense of morality in modern movies.
The moral compass that most movies are pushing now is to be inclusive.
But I mean, what, like,
they're based around inclusivity at this point.
But you know, usually the superhero is selfless, right? They're not doing the story isn't about them. It's about them helping somebody else. Like, you know, that's really the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about but if you look at like take the Black Panther movie as a good example. Basically it was about Wakanda not wanting to share its technology with the rest of the world. First of all, that's how it starts. It says, like, we're not going to share anything with you guys. And then then they find out this, like the guys from, like Submariner, he wants to destroy them if they don't give up a scientist girl. So they're like, okay, we'll give up the scientist girl for you. You know, like, that's not moral. You know, like, they're not acting morally, right?
Yeah,
they're very self-interested. You know, it's very self-focused.
morals are very questionable, though. Things
Yeah,
it's a very gray area on
yeah.
do you want to giving up power, giving up
But
things that you know other people would ultimately use to destroy the world versus one person. I like I don't know. It's too. That's a big problem, man. That's not like a
well, no,
little
no,
thing.
it wasn't even that. They weren't even like it wasn't about them destroying the world or anything like that.
Yeah,
This
but
one
somebody would.
scientist, no, the scientist girl, like what's her name, Riri, was the
Mhm.
scientist girl, right?
Yeah,
That they
because
had to give up.
they wanted her to make the machine so they could find more adamant or vibranium or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, and they were worried that that would
Yeah,
lead to
it would lead to her
both.
finding it, and then they would make bombs, and then the world would be destroyed. That's why.
No, no,
That's
no,
why
no, no.
Wakanda
It
doesn't
wasn't
want to give
about
it
that.
up.
That second part never happened. It was
I know,
only
but that's
about.
why Wakanda doesn't want to give it up, though.
Well, the reason they were against the girl, like the Submariner was against the girl. He wanted to keep his society hidden from the world.
Yeah, that makes
That
sense.
was the only purpose that he had. He just wanted to stay hidden.
Mhm.
So you know, it wasn't really about saving the world or doing anything. It was all self-interested things. It was just like, oh, how can we protect ourselves? We don't care about the rest of the world. Screw the rest of the world. It
So
wasn't about.
you don't buy the "I'm protecting you by not telling you the truth" concept, then,
I think that it
because that's
there's.
basically what it is. I'm saving you by not telling you that this exists. Because if I
I
told you this exists, somebody would find it and blow up the fucking planet.
Well, I don't think there was anyone that was going to blow up the planet. I'm the only thing that
You're
there was.
thinking way too. You're thinking way too in that movie. If somebody all of a sudden says, "I've got this stuff that can do all this great stuff," you don't think somebody evil is going to come along and be like, I'm going to go make a bomb," or I'm going to go find
So
something.
you think vibranium itself is dangerous and
Yeah,
that could
of
be
course. They don't want to give the dangerous substance to humanity because humanity has
but
a bad
that wasn't
habit
the
of
real.
destroying nations
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't
and
know.
destroying each other. I don't know. Let's talk about the natives for a
But
little
the
bit.
funny thing is, like, you know, the vibranium is like this magic material that you know you can
Yeah,
do anything with,
yeah.
right?
It can
But
do anything you want, basically.
if you think about it, like we already have vibranium. We have like uranium,
Mm-hmm.
which you can make into big bombs, and you can drop them and blow up
Yeah,
whatever place you want.
yeah, but
So
you're
I mean,
talking reality now. This is
well,
the
but
most
my
powerful
point is,
substance on the planet, and do you
well,
want someone
but
not trustworthy getting a hold of it?
so that but there that's that again that goes back to the morality here.
Do
So
I help
Wakanda,
100,000 people with cancer, or do I,
well,
or am I worried that someone's going to take it and destroy an entire country?
but here's the thing: like within Wakanda, they act as if they are the only ones that are morally, you know,
It's true.
good, and everybody else in the world, oh, they're sketchy. They don't know what they're doing. We're the moral authority, and I don't think that's true. I think what happens is when people in general, like you find if, like if you let people do their own thing, they generally will act morally. It's usually when you take away that freedom that it's then immoral things happen.
Hmm. I'm going to politely disagree with you.
I trust my fellow man much more than I trust like some evil government to.
I don't trust the government or my fellow man, for that matter. We're a bunch of greedy assholes, man. We're gonna do
Yeah,
anything to get us ahead because that's what we do.
I don't know. I think people are not that bad.
I hope not. I hope not, but I don't have a lot of faith.
I've met a couple good people in the world.
I have. I've met a few people. I've some great people. Some great people,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
But that's I know. I don't know, 300 people. Not all of them are great, and there's a lot more people on the planet than 300. So,
So how many of those 300 would you trust vibranium with?
I probably there's a few that are too stupid to do anything with it, so they're trustworthy enough. They would just think it was a rock or a piece of metal, so they're fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, those guys are good. I don't really know any scientist people, so I guess most of my friends are pretty safe with vibranium.
Pretty safe. Yeah, just give me
Yeah,
the vibe.
they're fine with it. That somebody, the problem is somebody that's not safe might try and steal it from them because they're dumb. They're like, hey, yeah. So I'd be worried about that. But my buddies, they'd be all right.
Would what Batman for mutant cure or against the mutant cure? I think so. That's almost like the way he was kind of perceiving Superman. That he saw him as something that was not controllable and dangerous. Would he see the mutants as being the same idea?
I don't think so. No.
I don't think so either. I think you would just see them as being like genetic anomalies.
Yeah, I don't think he would see them as a
threat
or a threat. Some of them naturally would be threats, but I don't think he would see them as a threat as a whole species. Batman's he's pretty logical dude.
Yeah, I think so. I think he would be smart about it. He's like one of the smartest characters in DC.
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
Yeah. So
not technically, I don't think he gets everybody else to make his shit for him. But the way he thinks is he's got a good.
He's a strategist. He's
a good strategist, head on his shoulders for sure.
Yeah.
Because he goes to the toy man, he goes to all sorts of people to get shit made for him. So
yeah.
It's not like he's making his own bombs or anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know.
yeah, no, absolutely, my man.
Okay, so that was fun. I was gonna keep it short, but we
let our people go.
Let our people go. Thank you, by the way, for hanging out.
Oh, thanks for having me, brother. I really appreciate it, man.
And IG me your address. Once I have something that's coming in the mail that I'm gonna send you.
I will definitely do that. All right, that sounds cool.
Okay.
That's awesome.
We'll talk later.
Absolutely. Everybody, thanks for having me.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for everyone hanging out. Bye for now.
Appreciate you.